I have the answer to affordability. I know things have gotten super expensive, and some of y'all are going to be like, you do not have the answer. But I do. But I want you to be patient with me because some of you have heard this before. Some of you, it might be the first time you're ever hearing this. But there's a mortgage program that is no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and a below market mortgage rate. As of this video, it's about like 5.65% or so. Yes, I'm talking about the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, or NACA. And some of y'all are like, that is really, it stands for never actually closes anything. But let's talk about this program because there's no program like it. Again, it's no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, a below market interest rate. We're going to talk about NACA and why I think if affordability is a big problem, a big barrier for you, this is something that you have to check out. I'm Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to home ownership and helping you confidently buy your home, possibly with NACA. Let's talk about it. So there are 10 steps to NACA. And again, NACA is Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. And again, no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and a below market mortgage rate. Now, for something this good, it's almost too good to be true because it is a little bit difficult to get through the process. So your first thing that you need to do, but it's 100% legit. So if you're talking to anybody and they're like, no, NACA's a scam, thousands of people have closed with NACA mortgages. I know them personally. I know there are several people on the channel that have closed. Agents even use NACA to buy their homes. So the 10-step process. Number one, attend a workshop in your community. Okay, that's number one. And these workshops are online. So it's all over the United States. The workshops are online or in person. And you can find, if you live in a more rural area or farther out from the major city, you may have to travel, but they do cover the entire United States. Number two, after you go through the workshop, they're going to tell you about the program, tell you how it works. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You just have to not own a home currently. So that's a good benefit as well. Number two, you're going to go through housing counseling. They're going to make sure that you're really ready to become a homeowner, that you're really ready to take on this mortgage. And this is sometimes how NACA falls apart because you may be assigned one housing counselor. NACA has high, or, I don't know if they've changed in, this year, but traditionally they have high turnover. So you may start with one housing counselor, you get moved to another counselor because that counselor is not there anymore. But traditionally, you're going to go to the housing counseling and hopefully you get through it quicker or fast. And what they're going to do is they're going to make sure you have a budget. They're going to make sure you can afford the mortgage you're taking out. So they're probably going to make you start saving some of those, like pretending that you're starting to pay this mortgage every month and putting it aside as savings. They're going to look at your debt. There's no minimum credit score, but they're going to make sure you don't have any crazy things on your credit. So your credit will be looked at. So that housing counselor is going to determine whether you can go on to the next step. And that would be number three, the mortgage options. You are getting, with NACA, you are getting a Bank of America conventional loan. So this is something that this organization has partnered with Bank of America. So what you're getting is a Bank of America conventional mortgage. So a lot of people ask, well, can I do down payment assistance and NACA together? No, because it's its own program. You're getting a NACA mortgage. There's no down payment, that sort of thing. But the seller can contribute to pay down your rate. And that's why a lot of people get much lower rates than market rates with NACA, either using their own funds or using the seller's funds. So if you get through housing counseling, and the mortgage options. Then number four, you're going to do the housing search. Now it's time for you to look for a house. You are NACA approved and you can go looking for a house. Now, after you find a house, you'll go under contract. And I had this couple, they closed with NACA in like 6 weeks. That is unusual, you guys. But he looked at all his mortgage options, using NACA, not using NACA, and he thought it was the best option as far as affordability, and he was able to get through the process very quickly. So it does happen. So I'll put a link to that below. You go under contract, step 5. Then you have inspections. NACA inspections are a little bit more meticulous than your normal inspections, which is a good thing for first-time home buyers, but sometimes you'll find sellers that don't want to go through all of the NACA things that they make you do. So, but your inspection is step 6. And if you can't negotiate all of the repairs with the seller, there is an option to roll some of the repair costs into your mortgage. So that's something that's pretty unique with NACA, where if you did it with a traditional FHA loan or conventional loan, then it's a big process, like a 203K loan, that sort of thing. I've done videos on that too. I'll show you those. Number 7, this is when you're going to basically go through underwriting. They're going to make sure you're in the same position as you were in when you started the program, when you went through the housing counseling, so you can get approved for this loan now that you have what house you're going to get, that sort of thing. And then 8 kind of goes with that. It's underwriting. They're going to check your credit again. And then number 9 is your closing. So it's not as difficult. I would say of the 10 steps, the thing that's probably going to take you the longest is the housing counseling, because I feel like a lot of people spend a lot of time in that process. But I want to recommend some things that you can do to help the NACA process happen faster. But before that, I got to get you to step number 10. Step number 10 after closing is your post-purchase program. So they want to make sure you're going to stay in this house long term. So there are going to be things that you're going to do in order to stay in the program, stay in the house, and make sure everything's going, well with your NACA mortgage. Now, you can do multifamily with NACA. You can do Section 8. So if you have public assistance, public housing, they do have a Section 8 program with NACA. So all of those things you can do. There's no minimum or maximum income. There's no minimum credit score. But with the income, if you're making a lot more than what the average income is in your city, then that may limit where you can move with NACA. And that's going to be explained to you during that workshop that you're going to take in your local community. But these are some things that you need in order to make the NACA process go smoothly. So number 1, I would definitely recommend that you attend the workshop before you even go to the housing counseling, because there could be some things, and of course you have to stay in that order as well, but don't just go from one to the next, because there's probably some things you can do on your own before you go to counseling, like make sure you're saving, make sure you're doing those things. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that counseling part for a much longer period of time. I also want you to join NACA Facebook groups. So they have national Facebook groups, and then they have NACA Facebook groups just for your city. And, that'll help you keep you encouraged, because you will see people closing with their NACA mortgage. And they're also going to give you tips as to what you can do when you're ready to use NACA to buy a house. And then lastly, I want you to have a plan B, because like I said, a lot of people don't make it out. I'm acting like you're trying to get out of a maze or something. But a lot of people, and I'm sure I'm going to have posts on this video, a lot of people don't finish with NACA. They say the process was taking too long. They have problems with their counselor, just something goes wrong with the program itself. It's a nonprofit organization, but they've been in business for a really long time. But some people just don't make it. So I want you to have a plan B. If maybe you're going to do an FHA loan, a home ready or home possible conventional loan. Those are only 3% down. You might have 100% options that you can find with some lenders, but definitely have a plan B if you think that the NACA process isn't going as smoothly as you had hoped. But as far as affordability, this is really the best mortgage for you if that's any kind of barrier to buying a home, because you can't beat it. Again, no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and a below average mortgage rate that most people use any of their savings or some of their savings and some of the seller contribution to their closing costs to buy down that rate even lower. So you really can't beat it as far as affordability. I will have links to NACA. Please put your comments. I will come and, answer some of those. If you have any questions, just let me know. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.